Good day, my fellow international relations student. Good day, sir. My name is Alfaqah Dwi, and within this occasion, me along with my teammates here will present about the employment of design thinking approach and also corporate sustainability approach as an attempt to minimize global health and environmental issues. And within this presentation, we will be utilizing and we will be analyzing the story of Burgreens as a plant-based restaurant in Indonesia, which employs design thinking as well as corporate sustainability approach in order to obtain its mission, which not only to make profits but also to minimize global health and environmental issues. Without any further ado, let's begin the presentation. Okay, so we before we go deeper into the presentation, I'm gonna show you the things that we're going to cover today. First, we will be providing literature review about global health and environmental issues. And second, we are going to explain the framework that we will utilize within this presentation. And right after we present the framework, we're going to serve you with the main course because we're going to talk about the design thinking approach employed by Burgreens. And before we wrap it up all, we're going to elaborate what are the impacts made by Burgreens towards the global health and environmental condition. So that's all what we're going to cover within this presentation. And next, please. Oh, and here are the list of my teammates. There's me, Alfaqah Dwi, you can see on the slide. There's Zaenul Adrian, Joana, Mafalda, Putri, Amanda, Fitri, and also Jhon, Kristian, Haria. These are the people who work behind this presentation. Next, please. Alright, so let's proceed to the literature review. First, I'm going to talk about the impact of veganism towards the condition of environment. As we know, environmental issues are haunting all people globally. Climate change has been acknowledged by the United Nations as Red Code for Humanity due to its urgency that could affect people globally. UN report identifies plant-based meal or vegan habit as a prominent opportunity to tackle global environmental issues, especially climate change. The United Nations even suggested its member states to reduce meat consumption in their respective countries. So essentially, animal-based foods are portrayed as a problem for the environment due to the amount of energy consumptions and harmful chemicals that the industry produces, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. UN reported that the majority of emissions come from animal agriculture and also reported that animal food industry is responsible of 2/3 of human caused emission that could endanger the planet Earth. That is why veganism could protect the environment. Why is that so? Because a study from Oxford University shows that human could reduce emission and energy consumption up to 73% if people globally deconstructed their eating habits to be more plant-based. Not only that, in addition, the animal food industry consumes more water than any other major global industry. Surprisingly, it takes more than 400 gallons of water to produce only 1/4 pound of beef patty. The industry also destructive towards the ocean, which makes the sea ecosystem ruined, ocean acidification, and water pollution. Besides from the water, the meat industry also responsible for deforestation. Study shows that the meat industry slashed and burned over 100 million acres of forests. And this number is equivalent to 84 million football fields, if you're wondering. Therefore, by applying veganism in our daily basis, it could conserve our global freshwater supply for next generations to come. It could also stabilizing the underwater ecosystem, recovering marine life, and also preventing deforestation by up to 90% due to the minimum resources that are needed to produce plant-based meal. So that's about the problem of animal-based products and the role of vegan lifestyle for the global environmental condition. Next, please. So besides from global environmental problems, health issues are also threatening people from all over the world, such as non-communicable disease like cancer and heart disease, infectious disease and pandemic as well, such as COVID-19 and malaria. And not only that, people all over the world also facing nutritional imbalance, obesity, overconsumption of sugar, and so on and so forth. And undeniably, there has been a consensus among scientists about the power of plants which could make our body healthier. Many publications have endorsed plants as the key to eradicate numerous health issues. Walter Willett, nutritionist from Harvard University, argues that plant-based food is the key for long and healthy life. According to WHO, red meat, saturated fat from dairy products such as milk, and highly processed food are responsible for non-communicable disease such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Furthermore, infectious disease and pandemic usually originated from animal source and highly related with consuming animal meat. Hence, it can be said that by eliminating animal and its derivatives such as milk and egg, it could lower the chance of an individual to experience non-communicable disease such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Moreover, plant-based meal is also very rich in nutrition, fiber, vitamin, mineral, and generally good towards the human body. This, of course, could strengthen the immune system of human that could eventually prevent infectious disease and break the chain of transmission in a global pandemic. Aside from that, the plant power could also counter nutritional imbalance, obesity, overconsumption, and also overconsumption of unhealthy substances. So based on this slide and based on this data, it obviously could clearly be seen that plant-based meal has the power to at least eradicate the health issues that is currently happening across the globe. Next, please.
We are going to tell you about the framework that we are going to utilize within this paper. So basically, there are two: design thinking and corporate sustainability. But I don't think I need to explain further about design thinking, right? Because we have talked about it for the past few months in class. So to save the time, next please. The second framework here is corporate sustainability. A sustainable business is a business that has a positive impact both on the community, the environment, and society as a whole. Meanwhile, sustainable business can be categorized into two, namely the influence of business on the environment and the influence of business on society. Connie explained that the concept of corporate sustainability or sustainable business is a principle held by a business to minimize negative impacts on the environment or potentially reduce environmental problems. A sustainable business is a company or one that is willing to ensure that all process, products, and manufacturing activities addresses environmental problems as well as local and global communities while creating profits because they want to be a business that meets the needs of the present generation without undermining the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Last but not least, Montino also believes that a business that gives back to its community and makes an impact on society will be socially sustainable, which means that business will last longer because of the trust from the community, including their employees, customers, and its reputation as a sustainable business. So essentially, this concept believes that a sustainable business will consider economic, social, and environmental factors when making decisions by monitoring the impact of their decisions so that they can ensure that the decision would not harm the community. Next, we are going to talk about the design thinking phase that Burgreens employed.
Alright, thank you. Now we are going to talk about the design thinking phase, started from the first phase, which is empathize. The story of Burgreens began very long before Burgreens even started. The mastermind of Burgreens is Helga Angelin. She is committed to a vegan lifestyle during her teenage years due to several health issues that she had back in the day. Helga's health issues were always treated by medicines because of her family background working in the medical world. However, the doctor's prescriptions were not always working, and it brought Helga to conduct research about plant power. Helga discovers nutritional values and components within the plant could counter numerous problems naturally, and she ended up testing it herself. Ultimately, Helga was completely blown away with the power of the plants because it could counter numerous health issues that Helga had. Not to mention, by eliminating animal-based products, it could create a positive impact towards the environment, which made Helga become an environmental activist. Helga realized that committing to be a vegan and environmental activist are not an easy task to do, especially for those who live in third world countries where animal-based products are the main star of the plates and the majority of the people who have not been aware about healthy life and sustainable environment. Also, Helga acknowledged that it is hard for her to find something to eat in a restaurant because of the scarcity of plant-based meals, which sometimes made her break her commitment and ended up eating animal-based products. Helga also joined community compromises of vegans that experienced the same problem. As a vegan environmental activist, Helga could empathize and put herself into the shoes of her fellow vegan to feel the problem that is currently happening within the society. This state is in the line with the empathize stage in design thinking process, in which the creator need to give empathy with the society in order to define the issues. From the empathy, it made Helga, as the founder of Burgreens, combine all the theories that she and her fellow vegan community, healthy life enthusiasts, and environmental activists experience. She breaks down the current problem exists into 5 problems. First is obviously the environmental issues such as climate change, overproductions of emissions, overconsumptions of energy, water scarcity, ocean acidifications, water pollutions, deforestations, and other environmental problems are haunting all people globally because Helga believed that environment and human beings are interconnected, which means environment could affect human's life, or vice versa. As mentioned earlier, animal products industry is the prominent factor in endangering the environment. Second problem is health issues such as non-communicable disease like cancer, heart and diabetes, infections, disease, nutritional imbalance, obesity, overconsumption of sugar, and other health issues are a serious threat for human beings. Experts claim that unhealthy eating habit and animal products are such of these health issues, as explained within the literature review beforehand. And next. The third problem is the enlightenment of the society. Helga emphasized that the society is still lacking education about environmental protections, healthy and balanced lifestyle, which makes it hard to completely erase global health and environmental issues. The fourth problem that exists is the scarcity of plant-based meal. As mentioned beforehand, in third world countries, the people have not been aware about the importance of clean eating, and it is hard to maintain a healthy and sustainable lifestyle in developing countries. Last but not least, the gender inequality and local farmer issues. There is an ongoing issues with local farmers and gender equality in Indonesia. Indonesian people do not value and appreciate the work of local farmers, which made some of them unproud and thinking about retiring from their job. Besides that, many women are still employed in Indonesia due to the gender inequality that still exists here, which made Helga as the founder of Burgreens or her business wants to contribute in minimizing the issues. That's all the 5 problems, and the 5 points mentioned are the main problems that has been defined by Helga, which goes hand in hand with the divine steps within the design thinking concept to define the problem right after giving empathy towards the issues. And next. Alright, so this is the third phase, which is ideate. After the empathize and define phases, Helga and Jelena came up with the idea to form a plant-based restaurant to accommodate vegans, vegetarians, flexitarian, healthy life enthusiasts, animal rights, and environmental activists. The name Burgreens was chosen to represent the convenience of fast food like burger and the power of greens such as vegetables and fruits. Burgreens wants to deconstruct the mind of the society that being vegan is not hard, bland, and tasteless. It is convenient, delicious, and tasty. Helga emphasized that ever since the creations of Burgreens, she wants to contribute to the planet. Helga mentions that she acknowledged that she is not a decision maker, not have a high position in the government to form regulations about the environment. Hence, with the knowledge that she has and experience that she has been through, she ultimately ended up with the idea to apply corporate sustainable into her business in order to gain profits while contributing to the general public and the environment simulations. Next.
As a sustainable business, Burgreens have five ideas. First is to manifest a healthier society. Burgreens recognize that the dietary habit of the most Indonesian people is extremely bad and heavily rely on animal-based products that have several implications to health. Thereupon, Burgreens offer the meal replacement that are made from the plant-based products that are nutritionally balanced, refined and sugar-free, full food crafts, homemade from the scratch, plain oil-free with the quality pesticide and natural spices. These exceptions and specializations of ingredients are extremely good to make the consumer healthier. Secondly is to create business that environmentally friendly and sustainable. Burgreens acknowledge that by switching into plant-based meals, it could counter numerous environmental problems simply because the resources are not coming from the animal-based industry. This is controversial and well known for its contribution to harm the environment. Moreover, Burgreens always ensure that its activities are not going to harm the environment, such as the packaging, the food waste, and so on and so forth. Third one is the conducting a local farmers empowerment. Burgreens admitted that there is an issues going with the local farmers in Indonesia, such as lack of income and unable to compete with the foreign products. As a result, Burgreens committed to source the most of ingredient directly from the smallholders, mid-sized farmers, and food artisans who apply sustainable farming and food production at fair trade prices. By sourcing the ingredient from the local farmers and applying fair trade prices, it will empower them, inspire them to continue farming. The fourth idea is to give empowerment for unfair village women. This idea is to make sure women are represented well within the Burgreens family by having a 50% gender balance policy, as well as intentionally hiring and grooming underprivileged women in village for Burgreens productions or operation teams. The underprivileged women in the village will be trained and employed by Burgreens to make them have income and knowledge. Last but not least is healthy and sustainable living educations. This idea means Burgreens as a sustainable business have to work along with non-governmental organizations to recognize the educational events on healthy and sustainable diet that intend to educate the people about the importance of clean eating, the protecting and empowerment to eradicate global health and environmental issues. By conducting market research, it will be raise the awareness of people and encourage them to join the movement to handle global environmental and healthy issues. Due to these five principles upheld by Burgreens, it can be fully said that the Burgreens have sustainable business because the Burgreens willing to ensure that all process, products, and manufacturing activities address to environmental as well as local and global communities concerned while creating profits. These ideas are related to ideate phase in which the entrepreneurs are exploring numerous ideas to solve the problem. Next, let's look at the fourth phase of Burgreens success, namely prototype. Within this phase, Helga partnered with Max Mendes, who is also Helga's husband, to manifest the idea that has been brainstormed by Helga beforehand. Within this prototype phase, Burgreens tried to invent meat substitutions with the pea protein, tempeh, tofu, seitan, mushroom, lentil, peas, and beans to solve the identified problems. Burgreens want to make sure that despite being a synthetic meat, but the replacement could give the positive side of the meat, such as the protein, and lighting the bad side of the meat, such as saturated fats and free radicals. It took months for Max and Helga to create the recipes. Ultimately, in 2012, Burgreens' first ever menu was completed. It was a vegan burger with synthetic meat but still rich in protein. Nonetheless, Burgreens was not open for the public yet. During this phase, Helga and Max were approaching their fellow vegan relatives and communities to try vegan burger, and it received a positive response along with constructive feedbacks. The feedbacks were lacking the creaminess and saltiness of the cheese, did not have the option for gluten-free bread, and lack of the food sections. Max and Helga taken that feedback as their homework to make burgers better by trying to create a new recipe. It took 3 months for the Burgreens to discover the recipe of their vegan cheese, which made from the cashew nut and nutritional yeast. Burgreens also added the option for gluten-free bread and new food sections from vegetable salad to fruit and smoothies. So, next please. Within this space also, Max Mendes was traveling around small village in Java to look for local farmer suppliers that Burgreens will empower and sources in ingredient from. Max and Helga passionately tried the ingredient and researches one by one to discover which ingredient is the most suitable for Burgreens, which led Max and Helga to find local farmer suppliers in several villages in Banten and West Java province. Right after finding the resources, the sample for the new recipe was sent again to vegan communities, and it has received huge praise toward the new recipes. In addition, on this page, Burgreens was also actively to create several events that aim to raise the awareness of people regarding health and environment. While conducting the event, Burgreens also served the new recipe for the audience that they could ask for the audience feedbacks and regard to the menu. In the pictures, we can see an illustration of the prototype of Burgreens, one of which is holding an event for the market education on November 28, 2017, where Burgreens seek to examine how the public perceives in the product is lacking in the production and makes a better impression of the product before it released to the general public. We can conclude that the prototype based of the Burgreens illustrates to all of us is the idea to solve the problem takes a long time to turn a raw idea into the quality products. Next please. Alright, so this is the fifth or the last phase, which is the taste itself. With the more received and food sections and approval from the vegan communities, Helga and Max ultimately launched Burgreens in November 2013, which made it to become available for the public. Burgreens started from a small restaurant in the Rempoa with small capital but huge courage and devotion to obtain the missions. Due to the scarcity of plant-based and healthy meal during the early 2010s, Burgreens' popularity was skyrocketed and healthy prices by the vegan, healthy life enthusiasts as well as environmental activities. In the very beginning of its establishment, there were only a few people who supported, passionate, and interest toward Burgreens, which were coming from a specific group of people such as healthy life enthusiasts, environmental activities, and vegan communities. Nonetheless, it did not break the spirit of Helga to make us the founder of Burgreens. They actively conducting the events or that educated the market about the importance of environmental protections and healthy life for the sustainability. Helga and Max traveled through the numerous cities campaigning for a plant-based lifestyle. Fortunately, their hard work was paid off because it succeeds to make people recognize about plant-based lifestyle and decide to go vegan due to an encouragement given by Burgreens, in which could boost the sales of Burgreens. Next, please.
Okay, thank you. So, after its launching, the customer also gave one precious input for the betterment of Burgreens, in which helped Burgreens to create new innovation for their products. For instance, acknowledging people who cannot tolerate peanuts, onion, soy, gluten, or spicy food, and create a personalized menu that are soy-free, gluten-free, spicy-free, and onion-free for these people, in which strengthen the relation between the Burgreens and its customer due to its personalization. Moreover, Burgreens also created numerous meal plans catering in accordance with the customer needs such as weight loss, weight gain, immune boosting, or simply just want to eat clean and healthy. This meal plan was a milestone for healthy life enthusiasts and vegan community in Indonesia because Burgreens could feed them every day with personalized food in accordance with their dietary target, in which could help them to obtain their target, whether the customer want to boost their immune system, lose their weight, or simply just want to be healthier. Burgreens are always ready to listen to their customer and deliver the food right on front of the customer door. Next, please. Besides from listening the customer demand, Burgreens also following the food trend and converting the food trend into something that is environmentally sustainable and healthy at the same time. For instance, the trend of fried chicken and rice bowl, Burgreens deconstructed the famous unhealthy fried chicken into a healthy and trendy fried chicken with zero cholesterol, without GMO, obviously without antibiotic and hormones. Burgreens also deconstructed the perception of dessert that is being seen as unhealthy that could create inflammation to human body. To solve this problem, Burgreens offer gluten-free and eggless cake, dairy-free ice cream, and refined sugar-free cake that are tasty but still low in calorie and in glycemic index, which could be enjoyed by vegan and those who have diabetes. Due to all Due to all of this personalization and specialization, the bargain offer combine the scarcity of plain-based meal in Indonesian. Bargains succeeded to attain the heart of Indonesian people. Not only that, bargains also succeeded in making investors ready to put their trust and invest in bargains because of its unique and well-planned concept. It is proven with the rapid development of bargains that has expanded to certain branches in several big cities at Indonesia in less than 10 years since its establishment. This huge success proved that the bargains able to execute all the 5 steps in design thinking process smoothly, with proper evaluation from each step and well-planned development for the betterment of the company and the product itself. Next, please.
So after discussing about the 5 design thinking phases, now we're going to tell you how does it contributes in eradicating or affecting the global health and environmental issues. But first, we begin to discuss with the global health issue first. So basically within this presentation, it has been explained comprehensively about how Burgreens overcome the problem of the people who have switched their eating habits to stop eating animal and its derivative products by establishing plant-based restaurant in which heavily praised by numerous people and group of people because it has created a lot of varieties of food that can be enjoyed by anyone due to its personalization. From vegan community, people who cannot tolerate gluten, people who have diabetes, people who have an allergic towards nuts and eggs, people who are suffering from celiac, lactose intolerant, and even chronic disease. Everyone surely could find something to eat in Burgreens due to its innovation in making the food inclusive for all type of people. Burgreens has given the opportunity for people to enjoy meal without feeling guilty towards regardless their dietary restriction. And that's it. Next please again. By establishing plant-based restaurant, it definitely counter the problem that was identified by Burgreens, which was scarcity of plant-based meal, because many people are willing to commit into the vegan lifestyle, but it's still scarce and it's still rare here. So that's why, due to this establishment of the plant-based restaurant by Burgreens, it gives the resources, it gives the access for new people who wants to commit into the vegan lifestyle for accessing the plant-based restaurant provided plant-based meal provided by Burgreens. Not only that, because of Burgreens' eagerness to make the society aware of health and environmental issue, they actively conduct seminars that aim to educate the market in order to minimize or cut off their animal consumption. As a result, more and more people began to cut off their animal consumption and switch it to plant-based food. Obviously, this thing could tackle global health issue because it minimizes the chance of the people to get non-communicable disease, which main sources are coming from meat, that we have told you earlier within this presentation. Besides from non-communicable disease, it could also prevent someone or individual to get infectious disease due to the rich nutrients that contains within the vegetables and fruit, which could eventually boost the immune system of an individual that could help their body to fight against the infectious disease. Last but not least, the nutrition also could improve the physical appearance of people, such as maintaining their body weight, clearing their skin, and many others. And next, please. So that's about its impact on health, and now we're going to take a look on its impact on the environment. So basically, Burgreens also indirectly contributing to eradicate global environmental issues. It is reported that if a person committed into a vegan lifestyle for only a week, they could save more than 5,000 liter of water, more than 100 square meter of forest, 9 kilogram of carbon dioxide, and bunch of animals. After the innovation that Burgreens formulated, there is an increase on the number of people who have switched their eating habit completely to plant-based meal due to Burgreens' consistency in conducting an event that aims to educate the market. Second, there is a significant increase on the number of plant-based restaurants, which indicated the increasing demand for plant-based meal after the innovation coming from Burgreens in Indonesia as the pioneer of plant-based restaurant here in Indonesia. The increasing demand for plant-based meal due to Burgreens' consistency to conduct market education and campaigning for healthy lifestyle and sustainable living as well symbolizes that more people have becoming more aware of environmental sustainability, in which they have been aware that animal agriculture is the prominent cause of environmental problems. As of 2022, it has been reported that Burgreens already gathered thousands of loyal customers that are indirectly contributing to environmental protection while maintaining healthy lifestyle. Why did I say so? It's because only a person that conducts a vegan lifestyle for only a week could save this amount that you can see on this slide, which means that if more and more people could commit into vegan lifestyle, it could be tripled and even 1,000 times higher than this picture that you can see on the slide. You know what I mean. Next, please. Not only that, Burgreens also have its impact report. So a monthly report released by Burgreens in January 2022 shows Burgreens' measurement impact on eradicating global environmental issues. So within this report, Burgreens claimed that they had succeeded to save million liters of water, 1,000 square meter of land, 1,000 kilogram of carbon dioxide, and bunch of animals. This report was calculated based on Burgreens' sales on January 2022. Within this report, Burgreens' contribution in eradicating global environmental issues could clearly be seen and could clearly be tracked. This impact met Burgreens got admired and adored by its local customer as well as attracting new customer. Obviously, it can be seen here that the key behind the success of Burgreens was the impact that they have created and the objectives that they want to achieve. This case goes hand in hand with what Montiel 2008 believes, that the business that gives back to its community and create impact on society will be socially sustainable, which means that the business would last longer due to they got the trust from the society, including their employees and customers, local community, and its reputation and its good reputation, which made people go back to buy their products. So that's all about the impact on Burgreens in environmental issues that we can see here. Burgreens not only employing the design thinking concept, but also the corporate sustainability approach in order to conduct a sustainable business. So that's all about the impact. And now I'm going to wrap up this presentation with a conclusion. Next, please. Okay, now I'm going to wrap up the presentation with a conclusion here. So basically, we believe that Burgreens has followed all the 5 stages of design thinking approach and has executed properly. Burgreens has been through a long process of research, starting from understanding the demand of people and the problems occur within the society. And after the research, the result of the research eventually leads to an idea formulation to fulfill demand from the people and counter the problems that have been defined beforehand. And once the idea was manifested, Burgreens did not only stop right there, but instead Burgreens continue its process. They eagerly keep on conducting market research by always listening to its customers and following the market trend in order to maintaining its loyal customers as well as attracting new customers. As we can see throughout the presentation that since the beginning, Burgreens always create new innovations that was based on the demand of the customers, such as the meal personalization that I've mentioned beforehand. And not only that, Burgreens also following the market trend in order to attract new customers. Furthermore, throughout the presentation, it can be concluded that Burgreens is a company that adopts the concept of corporate sustainability in running its business. It can obviously be seen that Burgreens' intention is not only to create profits, but also to create an impact towards its surroundings. Burgreens even created monthly report of its impact towards the environment that was based on its monthly sales that we have presented as well. So therefore, we believe here that Burgreens has executed two approach, which are the design thinking concept and also corporate sustainability approach. Next, please. Okay, that's the conclusion. Now we are going to have a closing statement here by a quote from the founder of Burgreens, Helga Angelina. She stated that sometimes we need to slow down and appreciate the processes. Numbers and goals are just as important as the connection and processes you build while you're building your businesses. So what exactly this quote means? So basically it is an insinuation and satire directed towards other businesses because mostly businesses seems to be in a rush on its journey. Why is that so? We believe that most of the business only thinking about the numbers and goals that they have to obtain, such as the profits and an expansion. By doing so, other businesses underestimating about the connections and processes which could make their business sustainable. So basically they abandon the importance of connections and processes which could make their business sustainable. Therefore, Helga as the founder of Burgreens emphasized that the process of building a business, which we have seen through all the 5 stages of design thinking approach that we have explained within this presentation, it's tremendously important to make the company stays longer within the industry because these connections and learning processes are what makes the foundation of a business. And if the foundation of business was strong enough, they will be undefeatable. That's why here Helga always believe on the power of connections and processes because these two things combined are what makes the foundation of businesses. And I will repeat it again. If the foundation of business was strong enough, they will be undefeatable. Next, please.
Finally, we have to come to the end of our presentation. So we have explained how the utilizations of design thinking concepts and corporate sustainability approach to eradicate environmental and global health issues as the key behind Burgreens' success, which we all know that Burgreens is the pioneer of the plant-based food restaurant in Indonesia. There are important points that have been discussed in our presentations before, such as the impact of paganism on global environmental problems, and also theoretical framework design thinking and corporate sustainability, and the thirdly design thinking process from the Burgreens company, and also contributions of Burgreens in eradicating global health problems and global environmental problems. Hopefully, with what we have explained in our presentations before, become useful for all of us and motivations for all of us to always apply a healthy life to maintain the healthy body and environment. May we always be given healthy by Almighty God. Amen. We apologize profusely if in a delivery of our presentations there may be a word error or some statement that offend the audience. That's all from us and thank you for the attention.